Hello everyone, this is Steve Huff at stevehufpphoto.com. I am here today with a bunch of Sony gear, as you can see. But what's really special about this lineup that you see right here is the brand new 35 1.4 prime lens. The Zeiss, the Sony/Zeiss, as you can see, Zeiss 35 1.4 lens. I received this lens from Sony to test before the announcement, before the release. The announcement is today, March 3rd. That's when this video is being posted in the evening. The lens will be shipping in April, but I have to tell you, I've been using this lens and wow. I mean, you guys know when I get excited about something, but what you don't know is that when I get really excited about something, or you may know, I really go nuts with it. And I can tell you that when I received this lens, it shipped in a retail box. The box looked kind of small. But when I took the lens out, I was like, holy shnikes, that is huge. That is big for a 35 1.4. It's about the same size as a lot of, say, Nikon Pro primes, which, you know, we are talking about a full frame camera. We are talking about autofocus. So autofocus always makes the lenses bigger, always. That's why Leica lenses are always small. They don't have any kind of autofocus motor or mechanisms in them. But I will tell you that the Zeiss 35 1.4 does have a clickable aperture from 1.4 to 16. But say you don't want that click, which is nice and solid yet smooth. You can turn this switch right here. You could turn the click off. So if you're shooting video, you now have a clickless aperture that's smooth and weighted and damped. It feels really nice. I always prefer to have clicks on myself. This way it locks in place and it won't accidentally move. But the 35 1.4 Sony Zeiss is a beast of a lens, but I can tell you right now, this is the best lens for the E system for image quality. It is gorgeous. The rendering is absolutely gorgeous. And to be 100% honest, as I always am, IQ-wise, this beats the Leica 35 Summilux FLE when used on the A7S or A7 II, the two cameras I use this lens on. This lens from Sony Zeiss has given me, I'm going to tell you right now, it's given me better image quality than the Leica 35 Summilux when using an M9 or M240. And that lens is $5,500. Now, I will say the Leica is much smaller. This is a beast. You know, it's semi-heavy as well. You can see the 16 to 35 here on the Sony, the 1635 f4, it's about the same size as the 1635 Zeiss, which is also a Zeiss. Same shape, same size. The 35 seems to be built a little better. It's a little heavier. But the one thing about this lens, a couple things about this lens, what's cool about it. Your minimum focus distance is 0.3 meters. Which comes out to 0.98 of a foot. Something like a Leica M lens, it's always 0.7 meters. So this lens gives you that capability to get really close up. So shooting a 35 1.4, you can get pretty close. And I've seen really no distortion with this lens. I've seen no CA with this lens. I've seen nothing but amazing detail and sharpness, yet creamy, smooth bokeh and blur. Again, this is the best lens I have used for the Sony full frame E-mount system, the FE system, to date. I'm a fast prime lover, and it doesn't get any better than this in a 35mm prime, period. Whether you have it wide open, it's really detailed, but in a nice organic kind of way. Or if you have it stopped down, say to f8, you're going to get blisteringly sharp, yet amazing results with the color and the pop. The Zeiss color and pop is all here. So before I go any farther, this is only my first look. This is going onto my website at stevehufpphoto.com with about 20 first look images that I've shot with this lens on the A7S and A7 II. I will tell you right now, even though this is only a first look, image quality wise, I've never shot a 35-1.4 of this quality. And that's a bold statement, but it's very true. Once people start getting their hands on this lens, they're going to say the same thing. The only drawback, as you can see, is the size. And what I'm going to show you really quick is the difference in size between this and something like the Zeiss Loxia, I think it's Loxia, lenses for the Sony FE full frame system. Right here is a a Zeiss Loxia 35 f2. So it's not 1.4, but it's f2. But what's cool about it is, look how small, I'm sorry, that's the 50. Let me get you the 35. So here's 35, it's a little taller than the 50, as you can see, slight. So here's the Zeiss Loxia 35 f2, which is manual focus only. Now this goes to show you the difference in size between a full autofocus lens and a manual focus lens, as well as having f1.4 versus f2. Speed will make everything bigger, including the price, the size, but also your images. When you see them, they're like poof. Now I did some comparisons between these two. They're both gorgeous lenses. They both are amazingly gorgeous, but I give the nod slightly to this Sony Zeiss version because it gives you that f1.4. But if you're someone who wants autofocus, this is your only chance. If you like manual focus and you want a smaller size, this is the way to go. Weight-wise, the Loxia is almost about the same weight as this guy. A little lighter. It's a little lighter. Now, this is not scientific. I'm going by how it feels in my hand. They're both hefty. The Loxia feels like a little Leica lens, and it's so smooth, silky smooth for focusing, and the aperture is also nice. So that's just to show you the size comparison. Here's another size comparison. Here is the Sony Zeiss, again, 35 f2.8. Now this thing feels like super lightweight. This Loxia lens here, Loxia, feels 3 times heavier than the Sony Zeiss. It feels solid. I like that. But if you could see the Sony Zeiss f2.8, you could see how much bigger it had to be for that f1.4 aperture. You can see the much bigger glass elements here, which usually when you see this, you know you're going to get quality glass. And Sony did this for a reason, and I believe it was to show you that yes, we can give you amazing quality in a lens. So again, I will say it, this is only my first look of the Sony Zeiss 35-1.4, but this is, I could already tell you, probably the best 35mm prime I've ever shot with, ever. Now it's not the smallest or lightest, but image quality wise, giving us everything we like. That pop, 3D pop, the color, the richness, the detail, it's all here, even wide open. It's not soft at all. So look for my full review of this lens coming up in the next couple of weeks. I will have comparisons against the 35-2.8 and the Loxia 35 f2. Again, a lot of people will discount the Loxia because it's manual focus, but I can tell you it's pretty easy to use on the A7 series. This is a heavy lens. I love this lens. I love the size as well. If you look at the Loxia next to the Sony, you can see it's not very big at all. It's not much bigger than most Leica M lenses, to be honest with you. So it's very compact, where this one is not. But if you want a 35 f1.4 for your Sony A7, this beats about any I've tried. So I would seriously consider taking a closer look. But check back to stevehufpphoto.com for my full review, tons of photos and comparisons over the next 2 weeks. I'm looking at around March, mid-March, where my review will be up. So maybe third week of March, I'm not sure. The lens ships in April, but pre-orders are available now at B&H Photo and Amazon. I will put the links here in the video and on my website if you want to check it out. So thanks for coming to SteveHuffPhoto.com. I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate everyone who watches my videos here, thumbs them up, and subscribes, just as much as I appreciate those who come to the website to read my reviews. 7 years strong and going. I should say 7 years and going stronger than ever. Thanks to all of you who watch and read what I do. So look for more from the Zeiss Sony 3514 soon. Bye.